Hello Internet, this is Spastique, and it's January 13th, and I'm sorry for the lack of content lately, especially in the Walfus department. I've been dealing with all sorts of stuff in the Walfus community and all sorts of offline stuff, plus really bad time management issues, which is a running gag with me, but my personal motto is better late than never. And I'm going to tell you right up front that I'm still working on the Christmas video. We're really short on that, so we only have about 5 minutes worth of sketches, 6 if you add the credits and stuff, so I'm going to be working on the runner as much as I can for the next couple of days. I'm going to see if I can get Spastic Make Stuff Live working every night at 9 o'clock as usual, though I have some early work coming up, so maybe a little earlier, maybe 8 o'clock. And another thing I want to do after the Christmas video is something me and Bleach Bummer are working on. If you don't know about Bleach Bummer, he's a really awesome RPG player, and he did a voiced LP of Final Fantasy IX. He's got another project coming up. If you look into his stuff, you'll know about it. I don't know if it's a surprise or not, but you'll get to see what he's going to do next. But, oh yeah, another thing I've been doing this January is a psychological research project, and I will say there are Jedi and Sith Lords among us. If you ever want to know how the Jedi mind trick works, I've actually been looking into how that actually works, so I can figure out how to stop con men, con women, and to use it for the purposes of curing depression, social anxiety, all that good stuff. But more importantly, this vlog is an invitation to 2 live events that I'm doing. For December, as I mentioned earlier, I did Unleash the Hermit Within, which had an amazing turnout. I had an absolute blast doing it, and I hope everyone else who came there not only learns, had a blast, but also learned something that they can use in their regular life. But tomorrow on, let's see, what day is it? Let me check my computer clock. Okay, tomorrow on the 14th, Wednesday, I'm going to be doing a monthly goal workshop, which I title Best Year Ever. We're just going to sit down, we're going to write down our plans for the year, talk strategy, talk shop, figure out, that's my pop filter, I think I might have accidentally bumped it, but anyway, and figure out how we can plan 2015 to literally be the best year of our lives. But not a lot of people set these kind of goals, and they just kind of improvise their way through life, and sometimes they might rely on luck, sometimes they think, oh, I'm better than that, I can just figure this out on my own. But we can probably speed things up if we know actually where we're going. And I did this exercise back in 2011 when I was first starting my little self-development journey, and I accomplished pretty much all the things on my list except the unrealistic goals. And then I did it again in 2013, and I did virtually every single goal. Like, I thought I was going to speak at an anime convention in 4 years when I ended up speaking at an anime convention in only a couple months from when I did the goal setting exercise, when I spoke at A-Kon and got to visit with everyone there. And if I met you at A-Kon, hi, I miss you guys. And what else? But yes, I want to do this goal-setting workshop with you guys, so if you guys have some crazy dreams, it doesn't have to be fan fiction related or Toho related or whatever. It can be something as simple as you want to lose a crap load of weight, like I have. You might have, let me swivel this chair. If you might have noticed that I have actually, let's see, I can't exactly show this off that well, but I have lost, at the start of the whole thing, I was like 210 pounds in October, and now I'm down to about 175. So, and my plan next is to build muscle, so I might be gaining weight, but I'll also be gaining muscle. But it could be losing weight, gaining muscle. Maybe you suffer from depression and you want to face your depression, or maybe you have trouble talking to people and you want to learn how to talk to people. Whatever the thing is, you're going to solidify that goal into something that you're actually going to be working on throughout 2015. And it's not just going to stop or start or whatever with just this one thing we're doing in January. We're going to do it again in February, and in March, and in April, and in May. And there's going to be certain guidelines as to how committed you are to doing the best year ever. You can do the easy version where you just pick one goal, and you read your goal list every month, and you look at your most important goal every day, and you only do a couple things every week to ensure you get closer to your goal. Or you can do the ultra committed version where you have your top 4 goals, your top 8 goals, and you have an entire strategy laid out on your wall somewhere, and every single morning you commit yourself to reading your goals and saying, I'm going to freaking do this thing. And by the end of the year, not the end of the year, the end of the week, you have done at least 100 different actions to get you closer to your goal. We're going to talk all that strategy, all that stuff, but if you can't make it, then I'll give you the 3 simple areas as to where these goals work. 1. know what your goal is. It's not enough to say, okay, I want to lose weight. Did you know it's possible to lose 100 pounds in only a couple minutes? Just hack your arms and legs off and bam, the weight is all gone. Now, you got to be absolutely specific. You can say, like, my goal was to get down to 170 pounds, and I thought I'd be able to do that in 5 years. I did it in October, November, December, less than 4 months. So what you might think is a 5-year goal might actually be a 5-month goal, or in my case, a 4 to 3 month goal. But if you're absolutely specific on your goal, the next thing you gotta know is know how to do it. Because once you're focused, then you gotta figure out, okay, what can I do? And this is where you come up with as many different things to do. If you say, I'm gonna run every day, then that's just one thing you can do towards the weight loss. But if you say, I'm gonna run every day, I'm gonna eat right, I'm going to look up things on like dietary information. If I can't run outside, I'll do some jumping jacks or push-ups in my house. I'll do sit-ups. I can, let's see, I can go on a cleanse. I can drink water instead of soda pop. Then you have, let's see, did I count 7 or 8? Oh, I don't know, but the idea is you have multiple strategies, so if one doesn't work, you can go on to the next one, and the next one, and the next one, to make sure you do at least one thing every single day to attaining that goal that you were focused on. So again, focus on the goal, find out the different things you can do to attain that goal, but the problem is, it's not as easy as go out and do it because we have all these things messed up in our head that we got to get past. So number 3, know what's stopping you, especially mentally. Now, here's something that I learned is not on the list of your procrastination symptoms list. Sometimes people get so comfortable with getting good at something that they actually think, that's too easy, I'll do it later. And then they do it, then the next day they think, I'll do it later, until it atrophies, and it's like 5 months, a year, 5 years later, and it's like, what the heck did I do with my life? And they never accomplished that goal because they thought it was too easy. But the problem was, if it was so easy, why didn't they freaking do it? But you gotta find a way to get out of that mindset and do it now, do it now, do it now. In fact, after this recording, I'm actually going to be doing a stream. So if you attended the January 13th Spastic Make Stuff live stream, then you know what I'm talking about. Then you have another less known fear, which is the fear of success. And you think, why would someone want to fear success? Well, having been there myself, people can get jealous of what you're doing. Some people who don't like success could come after you. You can get stalked. You like all this kind of stuff. But at the same time, you live a life that most other people can only dream of. If you look at every single great leader through history, your Gandhis, your Jesuses, your John F. Kennedys, your John Lennons, your Martin Luther Kings, they had 2 things in common. 1, they changed the course of history, and 2, people tried to kill them. Like, you can't do great things in history without pissing somebody off. So, but at the same time, you're going to change history. And then we have things, this is one I personally suffered from for a very long time. I still kind of suffer because I have a long history of, before I faced my depression and stuff, I always had to do things better than everyone else to just fit in anywhere. It's the fear of mediocrity and the fear of imperfection, where you don't want to be second best and all that. And as a result, although you might make great works once in a while, that really stops you from getting more experience because you think, if I don't do the best, I shouldn't try at all. But at the same time, you lose experience. There is one experiment, I think. So I got my personal library right over here. Shoot, where did I put that book? This is a live recording. There's no script. I have an outline, but that's about it. Huh, I don't have it. But there's a book, Mindset, by Carol D. Dweck, that talks about this experiment where they asked a whole bunch, I think it's from Mindset, I think it is, where they asked a bunch of art students to split into 2 teams. One team was asked to make one really good project, while the other team was asked to make a bunch of projects. I think it was clay they were working with. And Team 1 was going to make the greatest clay sculpture ever, and Team 2 was going to make a bunch of mediocre clay sculptures, and this team was going to get their grade based on how many sculpture they made, while Team 1 was going to make just one really good sculpture, and it was going to be judged on quality. But by the end of the experiment, they found out that Team 1 was so harped up on making this perfect sculpture that they spent all their time worrying and fussing and fighting over, how can we make this better? Whereas Team 2, they made a bunch of really crappy sculptures, But then something strange started happening. Then they started making better sculptures because they're like, you know what? We've done enough crap sculptures. Let's make some better sculptures. Then they made better sculpture, better sculpture, better sculpture. They're like, you know what? Those are crap too. Let's make better ones. Let's get more creative. And because they had more experience under their belts, their final creations were better than the single big project. Think about it. These guys are making crap sculpture after crap sculpture after crap sculpture and ended up making a better project than this single great, well, great in giant quotes, sculpture. So the question is, how do we break through all of these? Well, again, let's see, how to break through all these depends on your situation, but it generally has to do with how you deal with your emotions, training the habits of how you actually do things, because everything you do is a habit. How you get out of bed in the morning is a habit. If you decide to sleep in bed for 2 hours, I'm guilty of this myself, that is a habit. If you jump out of bed the moment the alarm clock goes off, it's a habit. It's something you train. It's something that you have to, it's like experience points in an RPG. The more experience you get, the better you get at something. Of course, it swings both ways, so there's also poison status effects, I guess. But the point is, you get better at whatever you keep practicing. In fact, that's probably one of the biggest points I want to make is you get better at what you keep practicing, good or bad. If you suffer from depression, it means you've gotten really good at focusing on all the bad in your life. And I used to be in that place, and then I started focusing on all the good things, on the better things, on the things I can take control of, and that's worked out pretty well so far. But you can also, again, practice the good things. Like, if there's a musical instrument that you're good at, or a hobby you're good at, or a skill you're good at, it didn't just come overnight. You weren't born with it, because we were all born pretty much a blank slate. We had our genetics, but that's about it. Genetics don't teach you how to ride a book, or ride a bike, or how to play the piano. You learn that stuff on your own through experience. A lot of people sometimes come up to me and say, well, Spastic, all you do is read guides. I mean, you see all those guides in the background and all the guides over here, all you do is read. No, reading gives you instructions. The instructions to carry out things you do, which give you the experience. And as you get the experience, you kill the fear, you kill all the all the mental things that are holding you back. So once you know what to do, once you have the strategy how to do it, like in the guides, then you can start focusing on your mental blocks, and guides can help you with mental blocks too once you get the experience. I think it was Malcolm Gladwell who came out with the 10,000 hour rule. There's a rule of thumb that says you master something after 10,000 hours of doing something. So if you spend 10,000 hours of your life doing the things that you want to get good at, then you will rise above everyone else in the field that you want to get good at. And again, this thing is going to be happening. Sorry, I had dinner a few minutes earlier. Again, this is live, sort of. This is all being done in one take, so. On January 14th, from 3 to 6 p.m. Central, and at 8 to 11 p.m. Central, I will be doing the Best Year Ever workshop. And because I'm running a little late on this, again, that's one of the things I want to work on this Best Year Ever thing, I'm going to be doing another one on the 21st. So that's January 21st, also from 3 to 6 and 8 to 11. I'm going to put a schedule down in the description of this video so you guys can come and attend. And of course, I will be running yet another Unleash the Hermit Within on January 31st at 8 p.m. to midnight-ish. The plan is 8 p.m. to 11 o'clock, but based on the event that this thing is based on, Unleash the Power Within by Tony Robbins, it's always going to run over time. And so far, the topics that we have suggested are The Futility of Jealousy by Ispod4, and Keeping the Balance suggested by Hobbit Terraria 15, and the usual stuff about state, emotions, and all that good stuff to start us off with, because it's all the fundamentals, all the stuff that we got to keep practicing that's the foundation for everything else. For the futility of jealousy, one of my favorite proverbs is, jealousy is the easiest way to ensure you will never become as successful as the person you're jealous of. And why? It's because when you are jealous of someone, you hate that person. And when you hate that person, you don't want to copy them. Like, I even know some really detestable people who are still really good at what they do, and I think to myself, okay, this person is scum, but how do they do that thing they're really good at? Like, you can't get jealous just because, like, getting jealous will keep you from copying what that person is doing. It's known as modeling in some fields of thought, where you look at what the best the best person of that field does, and you try to do what they do, and once you get their strategy, then you can repeat it over and over and teach it to other people. So if you get jealous, you can't do that. But if you admire even the worst person you can think of, like, some people read Mein Kampf by Adolf Hitler simply for the psychological factor of it. Sure, it's Adolf freaking Hitler, but hey, there is probably something you can learn from it because he commanded an entire army and almost took over Europe, and you probably haven't. Now, I'm not saying they should take over Europe. Do not try this at home. And let's see, what else? And again, I am not telling people to admire Hitler, and I know someone's going to make a YouTube poop out of this. So I might as well give them close. Yeah, for anyone who knows, I think it was Ambassador Pineapple who's made YouTube poops of my past vlogs, so I know there's going to be another one, likely of this, where it's probably me going, admire Hitler, over and over again. These kinds of things happen. And then the next topic is by Hobbit Terraria 15, where we talk about keeping the balance between work, school, home, friends, and your online life. And there are some people out there that think, I don't have time for my hobbies, I have too much school. Well, back when I first started Wolfising, I had a crap ton of school every single day, and I did my homework at school before I actually went home and did my Wolfis stuff. But the point was, I did everything at school, but then I still had time in the evening for my Wolfis stuff. And I was extremely busy. In fact, right now I have work, a family, and all that kind of good stuff, but I still managed to find ways to fit in time for my online friends, for my offline friends. Everyone has the same amount of time. Everyone gets 24 hours in a day. I mean, even if we count work and all that, we still have a generally equal amount of time. So it's not a matter of, oh, I wish I had more time. No, it's a matter of you wish you had more you, as one person put it. So it's the question of how do we find that balance of our work life, our hobby life, our family life, our friend life, and all that good stuff. And it basically comes down to organizing things and priorities, but as we've already talked about earlier, but I'm already running at 17 minutes and 37 seconds now, so I'm going a bit over. I'm getting really passionate about this kind of stuff, because a lot of people think of me as the Wolfis guy or the Toho guy, but truth be told, I am a psychology guy. I freaking love psychology. I love life coaching in a sense. I'm sort of like a free life coach, and my hope is that I can spread this knowledge to others and give people knowledge that they can use to change their lives. So if you'd like to change your life, please come on the January 14th, Wednesday, 3 to 6 and 8 to 11, or on January 21st, again, same time. I'll put the schedule down there. And on January 31st, I'll be doing Unleash the Hermit Within, where we're going to talk about all that good stuff and do all the guided meditations. As Dune once put it, he's on the Wolfis community, it's a mind trip. And I've also gotten a lot of positive reviews on Unleash the Hermit Within throughout the community, so you will probably have a blast. Even if you learn very little, it's still going to be fun. I will make it fun. We have tons of jokes, tons of great music, all that good stuff. And I've probably said all that good stuff maybe 8-10 times. Again, habits. Even your language patterns are habits. So, I'll hopefully be seeing you at these events, and hopefully seeing you at the Spastic Makes Stuff live streams, which I'm going to try to do more often. I have my Tuesdays to Thursdays free this month, so there really should be no excuse. And if that's the case, please remind me to get on that. Contact me on Skype or on the Toho community, the Wolfis Station Wagon Raid Call, which is cross-community, but if you're in the Wolfis Station Wagon, we have that. And I will hopefully be seeing you on the stream. This has been Spastic. I will see you in the future.